Hello there, my name is Ian, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today, we're going to take a look at this new box set from Hawkwind and Esoteric Recordings, also released on, apparently, the band's imprint, Adamhenge Recordings. So, I've seen it listed under both labels, and the primary label that's listed on the box is Adamhenge, but it is available through Esoteric. And when you pop the Blu-ray discs in, Esoteric is the label that pops up. So I think that's the dominant label. Let's talk about what you get in this new set. So this is 9 discs. You get 7 CDs, and you get 2 Blu-ray discs. On disc 1 is the original Hall of the Mountain Grill album with a new master by Ben Wiseman. And tracks 10 through 16 are bonus tracks. And included in the bonus tracks is the studio version of It's So Easy, which didn't make it to the album. It was recorded before the album sessions. You'd Better Believe It from Rockfield Studios, which was, of course, included on the album as a live version from the Edmonton Sundown 26th of January 1974 show. But you do get to hear the studio version on on disc 1 as a bonus extra. You also get an alternate version of Wind of Change, which is very interesting. The B-side version of It's So Easy, the Psychedelic Warlords single version, You'd Better Believe It single version, as well as Paradox single version. Okay, so that's disc 1, the original album plus extras. That's the original mix remastered by Ben Wiseman. Okay, CDs 2 and 3, you get Live at Edmonton Sundown from the 25th of January 1974. Now, the songs that were included on the album from Edmonton Sundown are from the day after, the 26th of January 1974. And those tapes are lost, much like the original album multi-track tapes. So that show couldn't be included, but we get the night before. And that's complete, and it's a new mix from Stephen W. Tayler, and it sounds absolutely fantastic to these ears. Okay, so CDs 4 and 5 are the 1999 party live at the Auditorium Theater, Chicago, the 21st of March, 1974. And then on CDs 6 and 7, we get the following night from the band's American tour, which they called the 1999 party, and that's from Cleveland. And that's the 22nd of March, 1974. And both of those set lists are very similar, but what I noticed is that across these 3 live performances, the arrangements vary quite a bit. The tempos range quite a bit, and there's improvisational elements that makes each one of these shows a distinct experience, in my opinion. And, you might think, gee, do we really need 3 shows? Especially given that a lot of these songs are repeated, and they are all early 74 shows, whereas the album was recorded, I think, between May and June of 1974 and released in September. But, as somebody who's not really a huge Hawkwind fan, I'm just kind of getting into these guys thanks to these reissues, and predominantly Stephen W. Taylor's excellent 5.1 and concert restoration work. I found something to enjoy in each one of these performances. And even though, again, the songs are repeated in a lot of cases, they're different enough that they were exciting to listen to. And it's like, oh, well, that takes a very different guitar solo or whatever. I will say that of the 3 shows, the Chicago 21st of March show is the only one that was previously released. And I have to say it is my favorite of the 3. I just think there's something to the spirit of that performance that's superior to the other 2. But I really, like I said, I enjoy all 3, and I would even argue that the second half of the Cleveland show might actually be better overall. But one thing that stood out to me is Brainstorm is always a little bit different, and it's one of the most compelling tracks. Every time that comes on, I'm just like, okay, where are they going to go this time? And that's really exciting as a music fan to hear. So disc 8, we get the Hall of the Mountain Grill 5.1 surround sound D-Mix by Stephen W. Tayler, as well as the remastered original stereo mix from Ben Wiseman. And these are presented at 96 kilohertz over 24-bit, which is extremely high quality. And it definitely sounds better than the remaster on CD1, I would say. So let's talk about this demix stuff. Some of you might not know what this is, and some of you might be a little bit wary of it, which is understandable. But essentially what has been done here is that Tayler has put the original master mixes into some sort of algorithm that's able to separate tracks out. And basically, he's able to create a new surround sound mix as well as a new stereo mix without the need for the missing multi-track tapes. And, I can understand as soon as you talk about any kind of machine learning or AI tech, people get a little nervous. But in my opinion, this is AI tech used how it should be used, to enhance creativity and to bring things to life that otherwise wouldn't be possible. And so let's talk a little bit about this surround sound demix. So my first impression when I put this on was that, it sounds pretty good, but I think it would sound even better had they had the multi-track tapes. And of course it would. But upon comparing it to the 1974 original mix, the new master of that, which is also included on the Blu-ray, which is very convenient. Upon comparing the two, I was astounded at how much better the results of the demix sound than the original. I mean, things are just so much clearer. They're better balanced. You hear Lemmy's bass guitar much more prominent. Things like Lost Johnny sound really terrific and punchy. I did notice oftentimes the drums sounded a little strange, like there was something weird happening in the cymbals, but the drums again have so much more power to them than the original mix that it's easy to overlook. And is it a compromise? Sure. It is a compromise not to have the original master tapes. I would have rather had a 5.1 mix taken from the master tapes, but they don't exist. So this is the best we're going to get. And in my opinion, it's the best the album has ever sounded. Now, you do get also a demixed stereo version, which is only on the Blu-ray. And I can understand why that might annoy some people who don't have Blu-ray players. So again, like if you're into this music and you're into high resolution audio, I think you should look at picking up a Blu-ray player. Like I get that all the time. Like I don't have a Blu-ray player. I don't have a Blu-ray player. They're not that expensive. And, if you have the scratch to pick up these box sets, you should have the scratch to pick up a new Blu-ray player. And I don't think you'll regret it because the high resolution audio is totally worth it. Especially for people who I guess are more used to listening to vinyl or whatever. This is much higher resolution than a CD. And I don't think you're going to be disappointed by it. So yeah, that's my feelings on the surround demix. I think it sounds really, really good. Of course, it does reveal the limitations. And I also sometimes will hear some weird hiss and stuff that, I think, well, maybe that should have been removed, but I don't know. I mean, it might be part of the album. And a part of me also kind of likes the fact that it wasn't removed, that it is authentic. So do I recommend it? Yeah, if you love this album and you love surround sound music, I think it's worth checking out. Now, we have one more Blu-ray disc, and for many people who are multi-channel heads, I think this might be your favorite. And we do get the entirety of the 1999 party concert from the Allen Theater, Cleveland, the 22nd of March, 1974. We get that entire performance mixed in surround sound. And again, this is the band's follow-up to the Space Ritual tour. And, I didn't mention this before, but the Edmonton Sundown Show has Bob Calvert in tow as kind of the poet, as well as he's singing lead on a few songs. But when we get to these American tour shows, Nick Turner is singing lead. And he's got a much punkier voice to my ears. So this stuff gets pretty raucous at times. And I really enjoy it. Like you definitely, in my opinion, hear a leap in terms of musicianship from the Space Ritual album in 1973. I can't remember exactly what date that was recorded, to early 74. I definitely think the band has come a long way in terms of musicianship, and you do get to hear a few of those Space Ritual tracks performed live, and they got a little bit more gusto. It's a little bit pared down because, of course, you don't have Dick Mick doing his synthesizer stuff, which is missed. I think that is part of the experience, but this is a much more pared down ensemble, and it's a little punkier, and it is really exciting to listen to. And in terms of mix, in my opinion, this is the best sounding thing in the set. The multi-track tapes were available, so Stephen W. Tayler has full options for immersion, and I definitely was hearing synthesizers and stuff bubbling behind my head. So I was really excited to hear that. The mix is, of course, very grounded in the front, which is really what you want out of a live album, especially since there's no overdubs. The vocals are very clear, and it's an enjoyable set. Again, I don't think the performance is quite as good as the Chicago performance, and I wonder why this is the only one to be included in 5.1, because I think it would have been fun to include the other two in 5.1 as well, but I'll take what I can get. I enjoyed what was presented here, so I can't complain too much. So again, my recommendation stands. If you love Hawkwind, if you're going to listen to these concerts, I don't think you can go wrong. They sound great. And in reading the liner notes, I think a lot of work was done to make them sound better than ever. And I'm specifically referring to the Chicago set, which has been released twice before. But there's been a lot of post-production tweaking and a lot of use of modern technology to fix some of the previous issues. And that's all explained in the booklet. So I definitely do recommend this box set. If you love the band, if you have an interest in the band, it is a little expensive, but I think for a 9-disc import, you do get your money's worth. So Hall of the Mountain Grill, definitely do check this out if you love this band. And if you have the previous box sets, I think it's a no-brainer. So, okay, let me know what you think in the comments. Are you going to check this out? Are you excited for it? If you have already heard it and you have thoughts on the various concerts or the very groundbreaking demixing tech, let me know in the comments below, because I'd love to start a dialogue with you. But don't forget to also subscribe to the channel if you'd like to hear more updates from me. At the end of the month, I have a lot of things planned, but at the end of the month, of course, I will be reviewing the Lamb Lies Down on Broadway box set from Genesis. So that's probably the biggest release for a lot of you, the most anticipated release for a lot of you. So I'm looking forward to that. And the only way to keep tabs on my thoughts, as well as, my thoughts on physical media news, surround sound updates, discussions, the only way to do that is by subscribing to the channel. But until then, it's been real fun talking with you, and you'll hear from me real soon. Alrighty, bye-bye.